try and really take it.
Absolutely, without question. There's no kind of message from me to say like, oh, we're not concentrating on it, or it's absolutely full throttle into this game, just like any other. Big message from that point of view. The people who may have been disappointed so far with their minutes, opportunity, impress me, show me why you should be in the team, and it's down to them then to perform off the back of that.
Does John Russell fit in that camp? I imagine after a good summer with Jamaica and a goal scorer into last season, he'll probably feel a little disappointed not to have started the first two.
Yeah. John will play on Wednesday. No doubt he'll be in that little bit of a disappointing camp, of course. Decided to not play him and go with other personnel in the first couple of games. Doesn't mean that he's not going to play in the near future and moving forward, but he'll definitely be one on Wednesday night, chomping at the bit and putting a performance in to go, this is why you shouldn't leave me out. So I'll be looking forward to that.
You mentioned Neil Ferrugia at the weekend. Will this game come too soon for him?
No, Neil will be involved. Neil will definitely be involved in some capacity. His injury was only a slight one. I need to get Neil now in a place where he becomes that little bit more robust in terms of being involved in squads and team selection on a consecutive basis. So it's important now for Neil that we get him in that place, and he'll definitely be involved on Wednesday.
I wanted to ask about Mile as well, because I've seen a fair amount of criticism on social media, as per the way you'd expect on social media after the weekend. Do you think that's fair? Are you confident that he can kind of play as one of a two in a back line when we've seen him operate in a three over the last couple of years?
I think I haven't seen any of the criticism, if I'm being honest with you, and in-house, everyone obviously absolutely loves Mal. He's robust. He goes about his business in the right way every single day. He's a credit to himself. If you had more people like Mal in your squad, you'd be doing absolutely fine in terms of, I don't have to handle him at all any single day. He just turns up and trains properly every single day we go out in the grass. I think in terms of the backline in general and the importance around it that I've said, I think there's been big changes in the first couple of games. Our two fullbacks against Plymouth ended up as two centre halves. That meaning that you had two new fullbacks against Burton, so that doesn't help. Obviously they're a team that go long and direct, Burton as well. So to have the two fullbacks at Plymouth as your centre half pairing is an ideal scenario. So the criticism from Mal, if the reason is, even if there was any, I'm not sure. It's not right. It's nonsense, to be honest. And Mal is doing a top class job for the club.
In terms of transfer window, Conor, is an additional forward now the priority for the club this month?
No, I don't think so. I just think it's just can we add a little bit of depth and more quality, really. Simple as that. We're always in the market for good players. I'm hoping that will be the case over the next kind of 3 weeks or so of the window that's left. And hopefully come the end of the window, we'll have a couple of extra bodies in to give us that little bit more depth and help the squad out and just be a stronger squad, in general.
It was quite the cut run last season, wasn't it? Clearly you had different role within the club at the time, beating Sheffield United in the second round before the experience at Old Trafford. It shows what this competition can throw up, though, doesn't it? Because that night against Sheffield United was certainly one that the fans really savoured last year.
Yeah, absolutely. You win games of football at any level or in any competition, you go on to have, really good cup ties or league games or, pressured games, whether that be, successful league campaign or cup campaign or whatever. So it's important just to win another game of football. That's going to be the aim on Wednesday night, and that will be the clear message from me to the players as well, to go out and put on another good performance to try and beat Fleetwood.
And of course, Fleetwood have had a really good start to the season themselves, back-to-back wins. Any thoughts on them? Have you managed to watch them much?
Yeah, we've had a little look. We'll have a bigger look today and get organised for it. But look, they've had a good start themselves. They'll be coming here with confidence, no doubt. no doubt they'll have a couple of changes in their first 11s as well. So, yeah, they'll be a competitive team that have started well. So, we'll be ready for the challenge.
The Reds needed penalties in the first round last year, Conor. Have you practiced them?
Well, we weren't in yesterday because we play Wednesday. So, yeah, that will be something that we'll be taking care of over the next couple of days.
And I wanted to ask you around a theory that one of my colleagues has. I like you, am a member of the left back union, the left foot union, should I say. My colleague seems to think that left-footed players can't take penalties as well as right-footed players. Now, I know you've got a particularly good left foot, Conor. What would you say to that?
Is that just his kind of educated guess, or is it actually fact?
There's a few in the office. I mean, there's a bit of banter around it as well, but there's people that do subscribe to this that I've seen.
Right.
I completely refuse it. I think left-footed players can take as good a penalty as a right-footed player.
Okay, it's interesting. Well, I think Messi's left-footed, so he's not a bad one to start with. So, we'll leave it there. I think I've probably trumped all the ones that they may mention.
Brilliant, good man, Conor. Good luck this week.
Cheers, come on.
Hi, Conor. Just on the EFL Cup in general, what competition you've got pretty good memories of? I remember a little run with Barnsley when you played Everton. That was a great game, and then obviously you got played in the final as well, didn't you?
Yeah. I remember that Everton game. Yeah, it was obviously a memorable one the last time. Obviously being here as a player, and fortunate obviously had to play in the final for Villa against Man City. So, yeah, cup runs can be amazing. Obviously being a part of the one last year at Old Trafford, the build up to that was brilliant. All the fans that went to Old Trafford that night. So yeah, look, we just want to win as many games of football as we can and see where it takes us. I think that's really, really important. That's the mindset and the mentality I want in the football club, a winning environment. So it's important that we go out on Wednesday night and try and put in a performance to do that.
Yeah, because you will have quite a lot of cup games in the first few months, obviously, depending on how the run goes, but the trophy as well. I mean, is that sort of getting the balancing act between giving sort of fringe players or young players a bit of experience, but also just keep winning as much as you can?
Yeah. You have to find a balance. There will be a couple of changes in this game, and whether it's a trophy game or whatever, but you have to go about the game in the right way, with the right training leading up to it, and with a team that you feel that can go out and win the game, and that will be the case for us on Wednesday.
Just on Fleetwood, obviously we don't know who's going to play, but they've got some really experienced forwards up there. James Norwood, who used to play here, and Ched Evans as well, has been at a very high level. I mean, if those two did play, that would be another experience for your defenders, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be a brilliant test for them. It was a test for our lads at against Burton, the way they played direct, particularly in the first half. We dealt with it a lot better in the second. I said about just doing the basics well and giving ourselves a platform in the game to give the forward players a chance to go and win it. And that will be the same on Wednesday. They'll test us. They'll have, like you said, experienced forwards that will give our defenders a good test, and our defenders have to stand up to that and go about their business in the right way.
You kind of touched on this earlier about a bit of depth, but if you wanted to rotate for this cup game up front, there aren't sort of, unless you go really young, there aren't sort of too many options. Obviously, Keeler Dunn and McGoldrick have played both games so far. I imagine you'd like to give them a little bit of a rest at some point. Is that an area you're looking to sort of improve in a bit more depth up front?
I just think just answering Ox's questions, the exact same answer. I think we're looking for good players around the squad, whether it's forwards, defenders, midfielders. I think we're just looking for that little bit more quality that can add that little bit of depth all over the pitch, really.
Did winning the first two games change any thoughts at all on the transfer window?
No, still the same scenario, still the same thought process, still pinpointing areas where we need to improve. And hopefully if we can get that done between now and the end of the window, we'll be in a decent place.
Could there be signings potentially this week, or are you looking more further towards the end of the window?
Who knows? It can change every single day. 1 minute you think that there's a deal happening, next minute it's off. 1 minute it's off, next minute it's on. So who knows?
Okay, thanks, Conor. Cheers.
Morning, Conor.
Oh yeah.
You mentioned keeping the momentum going. This is obviously the middle game of 3 at home in a row. How important is home momentum, particularly after last season?
Yeah, really important. Yeah, it's a good point. Obviously, after the first game, we knew we had 3 home games in a row. Obviously, delighted on Saturday with the outcome eventually in the game and how that went. If we could pick up another positive result at home going into Bolton, that would be amazing. And that's the ultimate aim. So hopefully that will be the case. But we know we've got a tough challenge ahead of us. Not taking any game for granted, or it will be full preparation, full organisation heading into the game, and that will be the big message to the players going into Wednesday night.
When there's belief and positivity in the stands, does that make a big difference? Because the way you started on Saturday, there could easily have been this "here we go again" feel about the stands at least.
Yeah, no, I thought the fans were fantastic. I said that after the game. I thought they stuck with us. They brought energy, they brought enthusiasm, they brought a connection, and they brought their voices. I thought they were really, really good. Stuck with the team, whether it was 1-0 down or 2-0 down. I thought they were, a credit to them, to themselves and to the club and to the team and to me over the course of the game. And luckily enough, they got their just rewards for sticking with us, and hopefully that will be a start of a real positive connection between the team and fans.
Yeah, I mean, you take that, and I guess the away fans at Plymouth as a sign that they're really buying into what you're trying to do this season.
Yeah, I hope so. Look, we need to win games of football to keep that connection going. There's no getting away from that, but it won't be from the one to trying. I'm a big believer in the work that goes on every single day up on the grass. I feel like you win games of football Monday to Friday with the work that you do and the preparation that you put into games. And obviously, look, whether you play Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, whatever it looks like, it's the preparation that goes into games that give you the real